As the WVU basketball offseason begins, we can now turn our focus to the 2023-2024 roster and how it will shape up. With that, there will be transfers in and transfers out. Today, we're talking about the latter. Let's go. What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Jordan Cruz back here with the Country Roads webcast. And before I get into this video, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder. If you would, do us a favor, hit that like button, give this video a thumbs up. Really helps this video's performance, which in turn helps future videos' performances here on the channel. And if you're a West Virginia fan and you haven't already, be sure hit that subscribe button. Helps us and it helps you, as it helps get more of this Mountaineer sports content out to Mountaineer Nation. Having said that, let's get into it. All right, as I stated in the opening to the video, we'll be talking about a transfer out here today, and I'll update you on the offseason transfer portal tracker I'm going to be showing in these videos throughout the offseason as I try and update the men's basketball roster as it shapes up heading into next year. There'll be some transfers in, some transfers out. We'll talk about the transfers in that West Virginia already has, and then a potential target that's actually visiting Morgantown this weekend. Talk about that at the close of the video. Right now, the main subject of the video, of course, the transfer out of freshman guard Josiah Davis, as you see from this article. Sportsnow.com is where you can find this, written by Ethan Bach. But Josiah Davis, an in-state player that came to West Virginia from Taze Valley Christian, true freshman this season. Didn't see a ton of playing time, so honestly, if you would have asked me the two most likely West Virginia players that may transfer, I would have said the two that have transferred, that being Jamel King and Josiah Davis, of course, because those were just the two that saw the least amount of playing time that probably expected to play a little more, particularly in Jamel King's case. But as for Davis, he announced his intentions to enter the transfer portal and also released a statement when he did so. And this is his statement. It reads, "First of all, I want to give great thanks to the man above. Without him, this opportunity isn't possible. Secondly, I want to thank Mountaineer Nation for bringing me in and making it feel like home. I'll forever love you guys. Thank you to Coach Huggins and the staff at West Virginia for pushing me to be a better version of myself every day on and off the court. But especially thank you to my brothers for always having my back through it all. With that being said, I'm entering my name into the transfer portal. Once a Mountaineer, always a Mountaineer," Davis wrote. Josiah Davis appeared in 6 games for the Mountaineers this season during his only season, his true freshman year here with WVU. So with the announcement of Josiah Davis leaving, West Virginia certainly will need a point guard next season. We already knew that going in. West Virginia, some would say haven't had a true point guard really in a few years. So maybe they'll be able to find one throughout the portal. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But West Virginia does have some guards coming into the program. We know about Jose Perez. I also made a video about Omar Silverio. But just in case you haven't seen those, let me show you the transfers in for West Virginia and the transfers out thus far this offseason. Let me share this with you guys. All right, so this is what I mentioned is going to be our transfer tracker here on the Country Roads webcast. Just a little Google Doc that I keep running throughout the offseason. Those that have been following along on the football side with these update videos throughout this offseason are probably familiar with the list like this. For the football side, started one up for the basketball side now that we have a transfer in and a couple transfers out. I don't have Jose Perez on the list just because he actually transferred in last season, so I would credit him as a transfer of 2022, not of 2023. However, with him not getting that waiver this upcoming year in 2023, of course, will be his first year of eligibility. So really, you could add Jose Perez to this list if you wanted. So West Virginia adding a couple guards in Jose Perez and Omar Silverio. Check out our video on the addition of Omar Silverio if you want to know more about him. I'll put a card for that right here in this video. But now we know the 2 transfers out for West Virginia thus far this offseason for Jamel King, a sophomore deciding to leave the Mountaineer program, and of course the subject of this video in Josiah Davis. 2 transfers out, 1 transfer in, 2 if you want to count Jose Perez thus far, and we'll continue to update this as it runs throughout the offseason. West Virginia, I'm certainly will add a few more transfers in. Who knows how many more transfers out will go, but also West Virginia needs to do a good job recruiting 3 potential guys that could come back in Jimmy Bell, Joe Toussaint, and Trey Mitchell. You'd love to get at least a couple of those back. I think it could really help for next year. Also, someone else that could really help for next year is the transfer point guard. West Virginia is hosting one of the very best ones that is left in the transfer portal. Check this out. All right, so this is the college basketball transfer portal database, and I've got it filtered here by best available. So these are ranked here, and as you can see, the player that is visiting WVU this weekend is actually the 15th best player in the portal here, ranked as a 4-star transfer. Kerr Kriisa, I believe is how you pronounce it. Not 100% sure on the pronunciation though, but point guard from Arizona, led the Pac-12 in assists last season. As you can see, he's actually crystal ball to Xavier. I think a lot of that is due to the Sean Miller connection with Arizona possibly. But having said that, Kerr Kriisa led the Pac-12 in assists last season. West Virginia is in heavy on him. And what we do know is he's in Morgantown this weekend for a visit. As we know, when West Virginia gets recruits on campus, it really creates a big advantage for people that have not seen Morgantown before. So hopefully that's what plays out here as well. West Virginia would be smitten with this addition at a position they really need there at point guard, and this is probably maybe the best point guard left in the transfer portal in the country, and West Virginia is making a run at him. So you like to see that regardless of whether they end up with him or not. We know that West Virginia is being very aggressive in the transfer portal this offseason. Hopefully it pays off heading into next year. So there you have it, Mountaineer Nation. An in-state point guard entering the transfer portal. A little bit of an update on West Virginia's transfers this offseason, both in and out, and we'll continue to update as we build this roster heading into the 2023-2024 men's basketball season here on the Country Roads webcast. Appreciate you guys tuning into this video. Let me know down in the comments what you think about Josiah Davis leaving, and what do you think about West Virginia targeting the point guard from Arizona as well, and do you think West Virginia has a shot at him? We appreciate those interactions there as we continue to try and grow the Country Roads webcast community throughout Mountaineer Nation. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.